Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem, welcome back to today's Daf, Nazir Mem Zayin. We are right on top at the Mishnah. So we learned yesterday that according to Rabbi Nazir, in order for the Nazir to go back to regular life, to drink wine, to cut his hair, he needs to complete the entire, carbon process. Everything needs to be done to give him the green light. That's Shitas Rabbi Eliezer. Whereas Shitas Chachamim is, as long as, one of the karbanos' dam was applied to the Mizbeach, there was a zrikas adam of any karban, that gives him the green light. Says the Mishnah, Misha Nizrak Olav Echad Min Hadamim V'nitma. This fellow had one of the karbanos brought on his account. It was zrikas adam, and then he became tamei. Rabbi Lezer Omer Soiser Sakoil. That destroys everything. Now the Gemara in the Havamina, the initial thinking, figured, he means literally, it cancels everything. He has to redo the entire Nazirus. The Gemara will ask on that. So this is certainly in line with the Shittas Rabbi Lezer yesterday, that until he does everything he's supposed to do, all three karbanis properly, he hasn't completed his Nazirus process. So if he becomes tamei prematurely, everything's over. If the Chachamim Emrim, no, Yavi, Shar, Karbonoisav, Biyitar, no worries. Bring the rest of the karbonos, make yourself tar, and you're good to go. Because there was already Zrikas Adam of one carbon prior to him becoming tamei. In fact, they proved their point with a story. The second time in the Masechta we have a story of a Isha who was a Nazir. We had Hilni HaMalka, now we have another Isha. Amrloi, there was a story of Maaseh b'Miriam, that was her name, Miriam HaTarmoidis, from the place called Tarmoid. She was a Nazir, and she encountered this exact situation. She was done her Nazirus, brought her karbanos. One of the karbanos' dam was applied to the Mizbeach, and then she became tamei. And they came and they told her, Albita shoysa musukenes, look, your daughter is hovering between life and death. And she went over there in a hurry and she got involved with her daughter after she died. So she became tamei to her daughter after death. And this is your case. This is the Mishnah. Zrika and then Tuma. What happened? What was the psak halacha? Va'amr chachamim. The chachamim responded, Tavi sha'ar karbonosea v'titar. No worries. Bring the rest of the karbonos, become tar, and you're good to go. And Taisus brings from the Yerushalmi. It means to say like this: first become tar, and then bring the rest of your karbonos. So no loss, no cancellation of the Nazirus. The carbon that you brought before Tumah is okay. Become tar, and then bring the rest. Rabbi Lezer seems to disagree completely. A tumah that occurs in the middle of the karbanos process cancels the entire Nazirus. It requires a restart. Ketani, Rabbi Lezer Eimah Seisers HaKoil. So you mean to say that according to Rabbi Lezer, it cancels everything that he did? But it's after 30 days. Rabbi Lezer himself told us, Kol achar melois, if any mishap occurs, once he's completed counting his 30, such as in this case, Shiva Seiser, all he loses are 7 days. He has to become tar, and that's it. He doesn't have to redo the Nazirus. So why do we say Seiser is HaKoil? Amar Rav, you're right. Let's re-understand the Mishnah. My Seiser, Nami Dekam Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Lezer says in the Mishnah that he's Seiser on account of a tumah that occurs after Zrikas Adam. He doesn't mean that he has to reset the entire clock. Seiser Karbonoisav means to say, become tar, and then bring all three karbonos again. Because he's not done until he finishes all three. So in this case, that it becomes tamei midway. That first carbon doesn't really count for him. He has to redo it. Hachi nami mistav. In fact, this interpretation will prove to be true. We'll take a look at the Chachamim's responds to Rabbi Eliezer and deduce from them what he had in mind. If we pay close attention to the wording of the Chachamim in the Mishnah, the way they respond to Rabbi Eliezer, they're focusing on the carbon. Nobody's discussing redoing or not redoing the Nazirus. Chachamim who disagree, what are they telling Rabbi Eliezer? Yavi shar karbonos aviyita, become term, bring the rest of the karbonos. That's all they're saying. They're not discussing redoing, the Nazirus or not. Right? So they're saying, look, you don't have to bring the carbon that you already brought, you're right, so just bring the rest. And Rabbi Eliezer is saying, no, you have to redo that carbon as well. And the Mishnah, in fact, continues with a raya from the story of Masanami, B'Miriam Martar Moidis, right? She had a zrika done on her behalf, but only one carbon. And then she became tummy. Ubo, Wed Jun, I'll beat her shaysim mesukenes. And they came to tell her quickly, your daughter's in danger. V'holcha, u'matzah shemeis, and she found her mace, and she became tummy. V'amr chachamim, what was the halach at that point? Tummy, shar, kabbanesei v'titar. Become tired, then bring the rest. As opposed to Rabbi Eliezer says you have to redo the entire set of karbonis. But there's no discussion of redoing the whole Nazirus. Shmamina, this is a clear raya that the machlekes is simply pertaining to that carbon that he brought before becoming tummy. Rabbi Eliezer says, redo it as well. Chachamim say, leave it alone, you're okay with that, just bring the other two. Hadron alach shloisha minin. Continues the Mishnah. Kohen Gadol v'Nazir. We know that both these fellows, a Nazir or Kohen Gadol, cannot involve themselves in the burial, process of even their close relatives, something which an ordinary Kohen, a Kohen Hedit, may do. So no Kohen will become tummy for no reason. But if it's a close relative, the Shiv Akrevim, father, mother, brother, sister, son, daughter, wife, a Kohen Hedit, an ordinary Kohen, may become tummy to take care of them. As opposed to a Kohen Gadol, the chief Kohen in the Beis HaMikdash, or a Nazir. They don't have this allowance. Einon mitamin l'krevein, they will not become tummy even to a relative. But there is an exception. Avol mitamin, when they could become tummy? L'meis mitzvah. An abandoned corpse, unattended mace. We have a special pasuk that allows them to become tummy in this case. So you have a situation where we have two people. And the question is, who is considered higher ranking? Who's the fellow that should offer to become tummy and leave the other fellow safe? Who gets priority? You have a Kohen. Mepharshim say it's not necessarily a Kohen Gadol. The equation that will be presented here pertains to even a regular Kohen and a Nazir walking along on the road. And they encounter a mace mitzvah. Who should go forward? Who should get involved? And who should not? Rav Eliezer Omer, Yitami Kohen Gadol. Kohen Gadol should become tummy. V'al Yitami Nazir, or not the Nazir. Nazir is sort of more important. He stands higher than a Kohen Gadol, as Rav Eliezer will explain himself in a minute. So if it's a question between Kohen and Nazir, Kohen becomes tummy, and not the Nazir. V'chachamim, just the opposite. Yitami Nazir, v'al Yitami Kohen Hedit. A Nazir should become tummy, and not the Kohen. Rabbi Eliezer responds to the Chacham, I'll tell you why I prefer the Kohen. He should be the one offering his services. Yitami Kohen, you know why? She'enoi mevi korban al tumasa, because the Kohen, when he comes tummy, it's not so consequential. He doesn't bring korbanos. So apparently his kedusha isn't as profound as the Nazir. Rather than the Nazir becoming tummy, don't do that. She'll maybe korban al tumasa. We see that when a Nazir becomes tummy, there's a whole system to glachas tumah. He brings a special set of korbanos, the chatas, the ilah, the yasham. It's more consequential. Apparently, it's an indication of a higher level of kedusha. Leave him out of it. Amr the Chacham respond just the opposite. We have a factor in favor of the Kohen. It's internal. It's permanent. Yitami Nazir. Let the Nazir become tummy. Shein kedusha kedusha. His kedusha is not eternal. It's not permanent. It's a 30-day Nazir. So even if he's a lifetime Nazir, what happened now? He wasn't born with it. It's not natural. Yitami Kohen, as opposed to a Kohen who should not become tummy, he should keep back kedusha kedusha. By him, it's natural. It's permanent. Okay, so we have a machlekes regarding a choice between Kohen and Nazir, Rabbi Lezer says, let the Kohen become Tamei, Chachamim say Nazir. So that's clear. B'Shleim Kohen Gadol v'Nazir, we know the halacha clearly. In a case of a Kohen Gadol as opposed to a Nazir, we have a machlekes, Hai Savar Kohen Gadol Adif. The Chachamim say let the Nazir become Tamei, Kohen Gadol stands higher than him. V'Hai Savar Nazir Adif. And the Shittas Rabbi Lezer is that a Nazir stands higher, his Kedusha is higher, as per his Karbanis that it brings, so let the Kohen become Tamei. So that's clear. Now the Gemara will present a long list of various scenarios, various equations. We'll try to figure out what happens in those cases. Who gets priority regarding a Meis Mitzvah? So you have a choice between a Meshuach b'Shem and a Mishcha. This was before the time of Yeshua HaMelech, when they had the anointment oil, which was used to anoint the Kohanim Gedolim. So you have a Kohen Gadol who was anointed in that manner. And he's walking along with a Kohen Gadol who was appointed by way of the extra begadim that he wears. It was post Shemen HaMishcha, so they had a different system, Umerube begadim. So these two fellows, walking along the road, meet up with a Meis Mitzvah. Who will become Tamei? Says the Gemara, here too, there's a clear answer. Meshuach b'Shem Mishcha Adif. The Kohen Gadol, who is anointed with the Shemen, he stands higher. His Kedusha is higher ranking. The Ilu Meshuach b'Shem Mishcha, because he has a special advantage over the other fellow. He is maybe par. He will bring a par. Haba al kol mitzvahs. The halacha Mesechas Haris of Kohen Gadol erroneously ruled on a important mitzvah, an avera, and he was over an avera that has karis, and he relied on his ruling. It turned out to be an erroneous ruling. In contrast to a regular, ordinary citizen who brings a kifsa or seira as a chatas, he will bring a par cow, something unique to a Kohen Gadol who is Meshuach b'Shem Mishcha. So he has that advantage. He has that added element. He brings a par haba al kol mitzvahs. V'ilu merubah begadim, as opposed to his comrade, the other Kohen Gadol, who doesn't have the Shemen HaMishcha. Maybe he will not bring the special carbon. So it's clear that he stands higher, and the other fellow should become Tamei for the Meis Mitzvah. What about the next case? You have a Meshuach she'avar u'merubah begadim. So the way Tosfos explains, it's actually a pretty complicated case. What happened was they appointed a Kohen Gadol by way of Shemen HaMishcha. And something happened to him. He became Tamei, and they had to appoint, a substitute. And once again, he was also anointed with the Shemen HaMishcha. He's a Meshuach. And then the first, Kohen Gadol comes back into service, pushing the substitute away. Right? So now he's no longer active. He's called the Meshuach she'avar. He's been removed from his post. The halacha is, he cannot come back and serve. Tosfos brings the Gemara in Yuma. He can't serve as a Kohen Gadol. He can't serve as a Kohen Hedid. Well, we don't want to demote him to Kohen Hedid once he's already Kohen Gadol, so that's out. It's not an option. Kohen Gadol either, because we don't want to create an animosity between him and the active Kohen Gadol. So basically, once he was demoted, he stays there. He no longer serves as a Kohen. In terms of, the Avodah and the Beis HaMikdash. He's called Meshuach she'avar. A decommissioned Kohen Gadol. But he has an advantage because he was Meshuach. So he has that Kedusha, but he's not really active right now. And then, the active Kohen Gadol, who was also a Meshuach, went into Golus. Tosfos says he went with Golus Yechanya, and they appointed another Kohen Gadol instead of him. But they no longer had access to the Shemen HaMishcha. So now they had to, make him kaddish through the Ribui Begadim, through giving him the 8 Big Day Kahuna. So we have a situation where we have a Kohen Gadol who's an active Kohen Gadol. Problem is, he's only Merubah Begadim. He doesn't have the Shemen HaMishcha. Then on the side we have the sort of backup Kohen Gadol, the deactivated, decommissioned Kohen Gadol, who's not really serving the Beis Hamikdash, but he was a Meshuach. These two individuals are walking down the road. Who gets priority? Meshuach she'avar, u'meruba begadim. The answer is meruba begadim. Adav, he stands higher because he's serving in the Beis Hamikdash. The meruba begadim avad avodah. So he has access to the avodah. He has higher kedusha, as opposed to his friend Vilu Meshuach she'avar. He's decommissioned. He's not able to do avodah, as we explained. Therefore, he should be the one doing the meis mitzvah. Next situation. You have a choice between a fellow who is avar machmas keruyay v'avar machmas mumay. So you have a kohen who's not working in the Beis Hamikdash today because he became tumah. He had an internal, a self-generated tumah. He had an emission, a carry. He has to wait until he has tefillah, harav shemesh, until tomorrow. So he was sort of demoted for the time being. He's walking together with another kohen who is avar machmas mumay. He can't serve because of a blemish that he has. So it takes time for it to heal. He's currently on the disabled list. Who is the one that will have the priority in this case? Avar machmas kiruy. If the first fellow stands higher because he's suitable tomorrow. It's just a matter of waiting for the harav shemesh. He's back at the service. As opposed to a fellow who had a mum, he's not automatically going to come back tomorrow. He has to wait until his mum goes away. Here comes the next question. Skan is the backup kohen gadol, just in case the kohen gadol becomes tummy, etc. We need him for Yom Kippur. We need him for other things throughout the year. So he had a vice president. He's walking together with a Meshuach Muhammad. This was a sort of a different type of kohen gadol. He wasn't meant for avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. He was meant to serve as a war leader. He would lead Klal Yisrael out to war and make those proclamations and put things in order. So he led Klal Yisrael at war. Who stands higher regarding a meis mitzvah? Hai minayu adav. Shall we say Moshe Muhammad? He stands higher to Chazal Muhammad because he leads Klal Yisrael at war. Or shall we say the Skan stands higher because he potentially can do the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash. That's what he was meant for. Tashma, he comes a raya to one side. The San Yuvav Bryce. Ein bein Mashuach milcham l'skan. There isn't much difference between these two individuals. Ella, rather, she'im ha'yimalchem b'derech. Exactly our case. They're walking on the road. U'matzah meis mitzvah. And they encounter a meis mitzvah. Who will approach the meis mitzvah? Yitame Mashuach Muhammad. He's the one that does it. V'al yitame askan, as opposed to the skan. Apparently, the Mashuach Muhammad stands lower than the skan. V'atani, but we have a brisa which disagrees. Tells us the other way around. Mashuach Muhammad ka'idem l'skan. Mashuach Muhammad stands higher than the skan. How do we reconcile both brises? Amar Mazutra, it's a different context. That brise, which gives priority to Mashuach Muhammad, speaking about sustaining him, saving his life. In that case, we say, you're right, Mashuach Muhammad Adav, he stands higher. You know why? We'll depend upon him for our survival. He leads us to war, my time. The Tolo Bei Ravim, everybody depends on him. As opposed to the Sgan, he's local in the Beis Hamikdash. He doesn't have that same importance as the Mashuach Muhammad in terms of sustaining him. Right? So that's the second brisa. His presence his service is more crucial. So in terms of the choice between saving him or saving him, Mashuach Muhammad is more important. But in terms of Tumah, which is the subject of the first brisa, they're both alive and well, but who should become tummy to the Beis Mitzvah? So in that case, we say the Mashuach Muhammad should. He can still, lead us at war even when he's tummy. So he should become tummy as opposed to the skan, because when the skan becomes tummy, that invalidates him, that disables him from avoiding the Beis Hamikdash, which is so crucial and important. And as the Gemara explains, when it comes to becoming tummy, skan, if the skan stands higher, the Mashuach Muhammad should be the one offering his services and become tummy. as opposed to the Skan. The Sanya, as we learned, Rabbi Chanina ben Antignus, Omer Lama Tiknu Skan Kohen Gadol. Why, in fact, did they appoint a Skan at all? To serve as a backup. And that was very crucial, very important. Shemira by Psul, if a Psul happened to the Kohen Gadol, Haray Nichnas Umashamash Tachtu. That allows the Skan to come right in and fill in for him. And that was pertinent, very important for Yom Kippur or throughout the year, and certain avoidance that only Kohen Gadol can do. So when it comes to Tumah, we give the Skan priority. Okay, so we have a whole long list of equations, and the halacha is pertaining to each one. Continues the Gemara. Ad kan lo pligi. Now, certainly there is only a machlekes regarding prioritizing. Ela b'kohen gadol v'nazir. So the Mishnah discussed the case of a kohen gadol versus a nazir. Kika azli b'hadi adali. They're walking together. Who gets priority? Rabbi Lezer says one. Chacham say two. Right? Kohen gadol or nazir. Aval chad chudei. But suppose they're not walking together. Kohen gadol is on his own, or the nazir is on his own. Bar itmuya inan. It's clear that, of course, they should become tummy to the meis mitzvah. But not only, how do we know that's true? That a kohen gadol, that a nazir can become tummy to a meis mitzvah. Who says? The Sanya. We have it in the Brisa. Tanu Rabban. Al kol nafshois meis lo yavi. We have a pasuk describing the kohen gadol not associating with any tumah. La aviv, la imoy, la yitama, not even relatives. Now the first part of the pasuk, I'll call nafshes meis lo yavi. What is that referring to? Non-relatives? Of course he can't. It's clear from a kavachomer uma kohen head. Look, even a simple, ordinary kohen, as we know, he can become tummy to relatives. Still, if it's a non-relative, off limits. Certainly a kohen gadol, by kohen gadol where even krovim is not a heter for tumah. Doesn't lend to reason that he cannot associate with non-relatives and become a tummy for them. So why does the pasuk have to spell it out? Apparently this pasuk is speaking about relatives. And if that's the case, why does the pasuk have to continue and say, well, father, mother? Obviously, relatives are asur. It's coming to teach us a chiddush. The pasuk stresses, don't become tummy to an ordinary father. Well, that's obvious, right? The point is for the inference, for the diuk. In a conventional situation, you can't become tummy. But if it's a non-conventional situation, an abandoned, unattended mace, a mace mitzvah, you can go and become a tummy to the mace mitzvah. Be'ez Hashem will continue the brayso tomorrow. So in summation, we have the machlekes between Rabbi Lezer and Chachamim regarding how far into the process does a nazir have to go to be safe. So let's say he had one zrika of one carbon, and then he became tummy. Rabbi Lezer says it's over. You got to redo all the karbanos. Chacham say no. As long as you brought one carbon successfully, you're good to go. Just become tar and bring the rest later. They proved it with a story of Miriam Hatar Mudis. An ordinary kohen can become tummy to his relatives, the Shiva Kravim. A Nazir and Kohen Gadol may not, but they can to a Meis Mitzvah. A Kohen Gadol, or even a regular Kohen, and a Nazir are faced with the Meis Mitzvah. Who takes priority? Rabbi Lezer says a Nazir takes priority. He brings karbanos, it's very consequential. Let the kohen become tummy. Chacham say just the opposite. A kohen is a natural kedusha. Let the nazir become tummy. What about two kohanim gedolim? One had the Shemen HaMishcha, one did not. The one with the Shemen HaMishcha stands higher. What about the kohen gadol who's in active duty? He's merubah begadim, but in active duty, as opposed to a meshuach, but he's not active. The one that's active takes priority. What about the Meshuach Melchama and the Sgan? When it comes to Tumah, the Sgan takes priority. And we concluded, we started with the Brisa, from where we learned that the Kohen Gadol can become Tamei to a Meis Mitzvah. B'suras Tevis, all the best, and much haslach.